imagine checking your bank account the way we all do all the time, I think. I don't want to speak for everybody.
I do all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, imagine checking that bank account having $1.2 million in there. Just checking it randomly.
I would die. I'd be like, but I would think it'd be a mistake right away.
Well, yeah, it would definitely be a mistake.
No kidding. I'd be logging out, then logging back in, and logging out, logging back in.
I would immediately be transferring it, and I would be leaving the country.
You would?
Immediately.
Okay. What would you do, Jared?
I would probably look over my shoulder a couple times to, see if I'm getting punked, and then I would be very tempted to start spending it right away.
Would you at least go through a drive-through or something real quick just to spend a little bit of it?
I'd probably go to Roost Chris or some place I don't normally go just for lunch, and treat everyone at the station.
Just come with me, everyone. What would you do, Manchester Matt?
I would go to an ATM quickly and try to do a couple withdrawals to make sure that it's real, because I don't know that I would believe it,
Yeah.
You can only withdraw so much.
Right, but I would need to see that receipt multiple times.
Yeah, right.
Is it really going down, or is this just a misprint on the app or something?
Yeah.
I think I would probably call my husband and be like, what'd you do? What happened? Because I know it wouldn't be my income.
Right.
I know it wouldn't be me bringing it in by accident.
I mean, you sold some big stuff, Ben.
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, a woman in New Orleans had that exact thing happened to her. She checked her bank account, noticed that she was $1.2 million richer. Ooh. She immediately went out and bought a house. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, she meant to deposit $82. And so somehow or another, it was a technological problem. It gave her, instead of just depositing the $82, it gave her $1.2 million by mistake. So instead of telling anybody, she just was like, oops, accidents happen.
Good day for me.
Well, it must have stayed in her account a while before they realized it, because she managed to buy a house. You can't just buy a house the next day.
Right, it's a process.
Yeah, that's true. She also transferred all the money into a different account, which Jason said he would do. Yeah. She used it to buy a house and a car, and then when the bank finally caught up with it and knew, obviously, this was a mistake, they called her and called her and called her, and she kept dodging and dodging and dodging all their phone calls.
Like, I'd like to close my account at your bank.
Yes. Yeah. And she was later arrested for theft, bank fraud, and illegal transmission of monetary funds.
Bank fraud? She didn't do it. They did it.
They did it. It was a mistake.
The fraud is that she spent it.
Well, we knew there'd be some questions we could not answer.
Of course.
We have our official attorney of Jared and Katie in the morning, Lisa Lanier. Good morning, Lisa.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, this lady had quite a pleasant surprise at first, but then it turned into kind of a nightmare, because now she's facing 20 years in prison. So it's
my gosh, why?
What she's done. But there's no such thing as sort of finders keepers if there's accidentally money transferred into your account. It's just not your money. You don't have any ownership rights to that money when there's an inadvertent transfer into your account, and you absolutely have to give it all back. And she knew that. She worked for the sheriff's department in New Orleans, and she basically, the moment she transferred that into another account and started spending it and hiding it and ignoring them, she was committing a slew of crimes. And so anytime a bank accidentally gives you too much money, you just do the right thing, give it back, or you could get into a lot of trouble. It's not worth it, because now, she's going to go away. And literally, I mean, they've gone after her. So what happened was Schwab is her brokerage account. It's who she has her brokerage account with. And they were supposed to be transferring, like you said, $82 into her account. It was like a monthly dividend or something. Mm-hmm. And ended up accidentally, can you imagine the employee that did this keystroke wrong?
Yeah.
Accidentally $1.2 million. But there's no way she can keep that. I mean, it's just, there's a ton of crimes. And the first one that's a state crime that she was charged with is theft of property in excess of $25,000. In Louisiana, that's the highest level theft you can be charged with. So it's the biggest, largest sentence. They've also gone after her in federal court, because even though, forget about all the crimes she committed, she also, in the Schwab user agreement, she signed an agreement that said, if you ever accidentally give me too much money, I'll give it right back. And so they've taken her to court on that.
Well,
who reads that?
No, it's like a million words.
Right.
You just click the thing. Yeah. It's a million words. But Lisa, let me ask you, though, because she said as soon as she transferred the money, she was committing a crime. But let me ask. Let's say she did all that, but then all of a sudden they caught on to it, and then the bank goes, "Wait a minute, that's our money," and she gave it back right away. Would she still be in trouble because she transferred it, or since she gave it back right away, she would be out of it?
Well, and technically, she has committed the crime and converted the money. And as soon as she did that, she was technically guilty of the crime. But oftentimes, authorities will drop charges or drastically reduce charges if all the money's given back.
But the problem is
but
with
here,
that, they've only
gotten 75% of the money back.
But there must be times, without a doubt, especially people that might have more money, a lot more money than us within our bank accounts, that the bank makes a mistake and they don't even realize it, and they transfer money and they didn't even realize it.
Well, if it was inadvertent, there wouldn't be any criminal charges. Like if it was completely innocent.
Because you see what I'm going here. What I'm going here is if that ever happened to me, I would just transfer it into a different account and just wait until anybody notices for a while. Wait a few years and nobody notices, then start spending it.
We're talking to our official attorney, Lisa Lanier. Yeah, Jason, if he checks his bank account and it's under $1.2 million, he's like, whoa, where'd the money go?
Who stole from
Where's
me?
all my money? Carol, what? Amazon. So that would be the red flag for him. Why is it under 1.2? Also, I hear Chris Brown, switching gears here. Chris Brown, speaking of money, is being sued by his housekeeper. And why is that, Lisa?
Because the housekeeper's sister was attacked by Chris Brown's dog in front of her eyes. And it was a terrible mauling. So these two sisters are his housekeepers. And typically, Chris Brown's dog, he has this thing called a Caucasian Shepherd. It's a pretty rare dog, and it is ginormous. Like, it's bigger than a person. They always weigh like over 110, 120 pounds, and they are huge. And this dog normally is kept away from where housekeepers and other people who come on the property can encounter it. But on this one particular day, for some reason, the dogs were loose. The housekeeper didn't know it. She went out back to empty out a vacuum cleaner filter, and this dog just ate her face off. Ate her
Oh my gosh.
The pictures were horrific. So this giant dog knocks her down, and she's not a young lady, and knocks her down and literally just goes to town on her eye socket with its mouth. And so this lady was in the hospital for a long time, multiple surgeries. Well, her poor sister is kind of helpless, trying to get the dog off of her, trying to call 911. And the sister now is coming forward and saying, "Look, I have PTSD. I am so traumatized by this." And so she's now the one that has filed the lawsuit. Apparently, what I would gather is probably Chris Brown homeowners insurance has probably settled with the sister, I would think, that was mauled by the dog. But I think maybe the other sister that didn't get physically attacked, then maybe they're not offering her enough, and so she's filed suit. That would be my guess.
I see.
But these kind of claims, they're for negligent infliction of emotional distress, and they're hard claims because sometimes these homeowners insurance companies don't take emotional distress as seriously, especially not compared to physical injury. So they probably offered her something, but it was not, in her opinion, adequate. So her lawyer has filed a lawsuit.
Do you think that she's going to get more and will win the case?
It's really, jurors are pretty hard on folks. It kind of depends. I mean, this is in California. There is strict liability for dog attacks there, which is different than the majority, different than North Carolina, where you kind of have the sort of the one free bite rule where your dog has to have shown a propensity that it's dangerous before you become liable. But in California, anytime your dog hurts somebody, there's liability. And so she's got an easy first burden in terms of proving that the dog owner owes something. So Chris Brown would owe something, but then jurors get, they're like, "Oh, really? You're torn up about this? Too bad." I mean, they're really pretty cynical sometimes. So, but I mean, it's going to be hard to imagine that you weren't damaged watching this happen to your sister. Because if you see the pictures of what happened to the sister, it is bad.
I don't
so
want
maybe
to.
with that showing those pictures to the jury, that they would be like, "Oh my God," they might feel traumatized seeing it. So yeah, might have a better chance.
Yeah.
These dogs are enormous.
Are they really? I've never heard of them.
I didn't know
enormous.
I didn't realize they were so aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think, that's funny because I've never heard of these dogs. In the pictures, they look like giant sort of teddy bears. I mean, they look really,
like a bear.
They don't look menacing.
Are they typically aggressive or no?
I don't know. I didn't see anything about that. I mean, they look, but who knows?
She didn't study that at
Any
law
dog
school,
can.
Jason, about all the vicious dogs out there.
I'm sorry, Jared. She seems like she knows a lot of information.
Well, she does. She does. She knows more than all of
Always,
us
Lisa.
combined, for sure. As always, awesome. Thank you, Lisa, so much.
You're-
Oh, sorry. Dang it. Cut her
Oh,
off.
boy.
My
So
bad.
rude.
I hit the hold button too soon. I
So
didn't know she heard me.
rude.
Official attorney of Jared and Katie in the morning. If you're ever injured on the job, contact her right away at hireaheavyweight.com.